I ain't ready yet. Wait, let me fix my hair. Yes, yes. Yes, ma'am. Yes, pass me my dress. Yes.
Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. Come on in, take your shoes off. We have a lot to unpack. Today I'm going to be telling you guys about my interest in men and my type, if you will. I get a lot of questions about the type of guys that I'm into. What is your type? What do you look for in a guy? And it got me to really thinking about like how I kind of led up to the type of guys that I like now. How has it changed from when I first started dating? Me having my first boyfriend, and we're gonna get into all of that. Plus, I have a really cute story time that I think you guys may like. So, like I said before, take your shoes off, go grab you a snack or whatever so we can chat. It's gonna get good. I had my first boyfriend my freshman year of college. Um, his name is Tony. This is over maybe like 10 years ago. We're still good friends to this day. But before I met Tony, and Tony opened me up to a new world and kind of initially um, showed me what it was to love and the type of man that I really did deserve and desire. I, of course, had another situation. And we may get a little off topic too because I have a lot of people that's been asking me to discuss the attraction of openly gay men and trans women and how those two mesh. And I know it may sound crazy to some of you watching, like, how can a gay guy and a trans woman date or find interest in each other? But it happens. At the end of the day, he's still a guy. And we'll get into that. But before we do that, so I have to wait, pause. See, I got so much to tell y'all, but let's go ahead and lay it out. So I'm going to tell you guys about the attraction between trans women and gay men. Then I'm going to tell you guys about my first boyfriend and how he kind of helped me molded me into finding what I really do like in men. And then the situationship that spiked all of that other stuff. So, picture it, 2008, 2009, I'm in Tallahassee. TCC, Tallahassee Community College, that's in Tallahassee, Florida. If you're familiar with Tallahassee, let me get comfortable. And I was going to TCC, like I said. So, there was this boy in my math class, trade, if you will. And I'll be saying terms too, so if you aren't really familiar with the slang of terms, I will give you guys a little quick definition about it. So anywho, trade, which is considered straight boy, that's our slang that we use, or DL guys, whatever. At this time I didn't know he was DL, but we had a math class together. Never spoke to me, I never spoke to him. He was just like any other dude in my class. He was attractive, but I didn't even think twice because here I am, young, new to college, new to this city. I had just started my hormone therapy, so I wasn't the woman that you see now. I didn't have my implants. I didn't have anything. It was just, Amiyah starting out. So, I went to a club on a Tuesday night, and I've been trying to figure out the name of the club. Well, remember the name of the club, so I can remind you all, like if you've been in Tallahassee, but I cannot remember it. It used to be like a strip club, but technically you can't have a strip club in the Capitol. But it was on Tennessee Street. I'm going west, and it kind of sits up on a high hill. Nonetheless, I'm just trying to give you guys a visual of where it was. But nonetheless, we were there. I went out with my friend Yummy. Hi, Yummy, if you're watching. And she used to always drag me out to the straight club. So I went with her, had a good time, whatever. We were leaving out of the club. So as we're walking to the car, this guy calls her to the car, which happens pretty often when you're leaving the club. If a guy's been checking you out in the club, he's gonna, hit you up. So, me, I'm walking back to the car like, he didn't call me or whatever like that. And honestly, at that point in time, I was not confident at all. I was very unsure of myself. I knew how I wanted to look and what I wanted to be, but I was a pickle. And that's kind of like just layman's terms for I was a fool, a hot mess. I was toe up. But my personality always shined through and the confidence. And that's something that I will constantly keep beating into our brains throughout all of our talks. So, anywho, Yummy comes back to the car and she's like, Amiyah, he wants you. So I'm like, me? I'm like, I'm not going over there. Mm-mm. Like, he don't, oh, you know, I don't even play around. Because with me, I don't play around with fooling nobody. I don't want anybody to embarrass me or to make a scene. So I was like, no. She was like, girl, just go to the car. So I was like, okay. I walked to the passenger window and, excuse me, y'all. Oh, okay. So I walked, I walked to the passenger window and he was like, you know, what's up? And he could tell that I was hesitant and nervous, especially when I saw that. I'm like, this is the dude from my math class. So he was like, I know what's up. Take my number down. So I put his number in my phone, and he was like, hit me up when you get home. Of course, being the girl that I am, I don't follow directions. I make directions. I set the rules. So I didn't call him. I knew I was going to see him the next day in class. So I was like, I went back to the car with Yummy and I'm like, oh my God, girl, he got me his number. And, you know, just really like queening out because I was just so shocked. It was like one of the first boys to ask for my phone number. And I just, like, I was just like having butterflies all inside. I can't even explain it. It's not even about the person, but just the feeling of knowing how you want to be perceived by the community and for someone to acknowledge you as a woman or find you desirable, whatever. We drove home. Like I said, I didn't text him. I went to school the next day and I saw him. We didn't speak. I gave him a look. You know, he gave me a look. And just so happened I had to do like math problems, equations on the board. So I was already like scared, you know, now that I know that this particular guy asked my number and it's like, here he is. Never noticed this boy any other time, but now all of a sudden it's like, I just, you know, he's everywhere. So anywho, I did contact him when I got out of class, and one thing led to another. We kind of just started hanging out. It went from hanging out to him staying the night almost 5 times out of the week. I would see him in the student union on Wednesdays because it used to be really packed. Will walk past and never speak to him. It got to the point to where he would drop me off to school, but he would drop me off on one side of the campus and then park his car on the other side of the campus with his friends. When we were in school, it was like an unspoken rule. I just accepted it because I just thought that as a trans woman, we're supposed to be with masculine guys, and as a trans woman, you should just be grateful to get whatever you can. Like if a guy wants to be with you, you accept whatever terms he gives to you. And so if it's DL, then that's just what it is. I thought that was the idea, that girls like me weren't capable of being loved, of being taken serious, that we were supposed to be loved but behind closed doors, and you kind of just conform to whatever rules that particular guy just set. So that was my mindset, me being 19, 20 years old, you know, dating. I just thought that was what it was. So I kind of dealt with that for a little bit, and after a while he kind of started backing off. Like I wasn't seeing him as often, and didn't really know why. Me and my best friend, hey Tanya, we went to Walmart on Tennessee Street, and I saw him in there. He was in Walmart. I didn't say anything to him, but I did make sure that he saw me and I saw him. And he was with a girl who was pregnant. They were like shopping for baby's clothes and stuff like that. And like a week later, I kept going back and forth in my mind like what to say. A week later, I texted him and was just like, I'm good. You know, good luck with everything with your baby and stuff. But I don't think I could like talk to you like that anymore. And he was like, are you serious? And then I didn't respond, and he never hit me up anymore. I think I blocked his number. I don't even know. We weren't necessarily like in an open relationship. It did kind of hurt, and it really started getting me to just look at like the things that I accepted, how I allowed this particular individual to just have their way, and I just I just dealt with it. Um, and I just thought that it was so cute that, I thought I was real. I was like, oh my gosh, like, Trey dropped me off to school, and, I'm with him most of the time, but it's like, girl, you were basically being convenient for him. You were doing whatever he needed. So that was done. Fast forward, I have, well, he's still my friend, so I have, or at the time I had a gay friend, openly gay male, and his name is Tony. So me and Tony were like good Judies. We would crack on each other. I would see him on the weekend when we would go to the gay clubs. Um, it was just like a typical homegirl and homeboy friendship. Never looked at him any type of way. And like I said, I was always under the impression that trans women are supposed to, like, you're supposed to be dating a masculine guy. You're supposed to be the feminine girl. You're supposed to be with a feminine guy. It's supposed to be these type of heteronormative roles. I don't know if I said that right. But either way, man and woman. So that's the impression that I was under. So when other gay guys kind of would show me interest, I wouldn't even pay it any mind because I'm like, you're feminine, I'm feminine. That doesn't make sense. But that's how small-minded I was. So, like I said, me and Tony were really good friends. The summer, my sophomore summer had rolled by. Tony threw a house party, and I went, and I was with another friend who's a gay male. Because at this time, there were really no trans girls in Tallahassee. There were a few older trans women, but as far as like any young trans women, I was kind of like just the only one, which is funny. There's so many now, but I was, that one. And I would just always be that one girl with, a slew of gay guys. And I would tell my homeboy, I was like, oh my gosh, like, Tony looks so cute, but I would never tell him. And we would flirt, but it was always like a friendly way. Like, it was never nothing serious. But that particular night, Tony just looked different to me. I don't know if it was what he was wearing. He just appeared more masculine, whatever, because Tony is definitely like a feminine boy. Like, he can give you boy, but he had his feminine ways. He would be in the club shaking it down. He was just like your average gay guy. And, so I told my friend, and he was like, you should tell him. I was like, no, I wouldn't, dare tell him that. Unbeknownst to me, my friend did go back and tell Tony. I was out the door, and Tony came. We smoked, spoke, and drank. And it was just a different type of Tony. I don't really know how our conversation went, but I know matter of fact, that night I ended up staying the night at his house. And it's just like, after staying the night with him that night, we were just inseparable. Like, the next few months, it was like, we had our friendship, but it was just different. The sex was amazing. The conversation was amazing. I was being loved out loud, and we would go on dates. And, people in our community, as far as like the other gays, did not understand it at all. They were like, Tony, you normally date guys, and, Amiyah, you like masculine guys. And Tony, if you're gonna date a trans girl, why not just be with the real woman? So it was a bit confusing for everybody, but we both knew that we made each other happy. And what made it even better was that this was someone I trusted and confided in, and we were friends. We were very good friends. So, me with my small mind, I'll never forget. Tony went out. We went out one weekend to this club called Riverfront, and we went out to the club, and he was like just shaking it up, twerking, if you will, whatever, like cutting up or whatever. And I was just like, right after he got through doing it, I had just came into the club with a few of my friends, and he walked up and came and kissed me. And I kissed him back, but I kind of was just like, I told you, like, I like masculine guys. Like, what are you doing? boy, was I stupid. And that night I knew that I hurt his feelings. Like, I didn't have to say much, but I know his feelings were hurt. And I don't know, I had an attitude with him kind of that whole night because I was just like, you're doing the most. Why can't you just relax and just be a guy? Like, it was very childish and small minded on my end. But went home that night. We kind of didn't talk because both of us would be stubborn. But I really, he went to work the next day actually, and then I woke up that morning and I started thinking about like what happened, like analyzing it. And of course, when you're under the influence and you're upset, it's always best to kind of just sleep on it and then think about it the next day before you make like a big decision or make the wrong decision. And I had to literally step outside of myself and say, am I like, what are you doing? This is someone who's openly gay, comfortable with his sexuality, knows exactly who he is. He's letting you know who he is, and he's letting you know what he wants. He's not misleading you or leading you on anything of that nature. Like he wants you, and if this particular guy can accept you for who you are, you being trans, you not being the most passable girl, you still trying to figure out who you are. He still sees the good in you and still wants to be with you. Why can't you see the same thing in him? Why would you want this person to conform to what you have in your mind? Like, he's giving you everything that you wanted and needed in a partner. What's wrong with you? And from that moment, it clicked. And I was just like, what am I doing? And come to find out, I've always like open-minded men who are just aware of their sexuality, comfortable with it. They don't fit in a box. They know exactly what they want and who they are. And they just don't care about society, and they don't worry about trying to conform with society. That's what I like in a man. And Tony was the first person to expose me to that. And there's a saying that's like, you don't know what you want until someone shows you, and that's what I wanted. That whole masculine thing, or that the guy has to be like this or whatever, was just a small-minded way of thinking, or what I thought me being a trans woman was supposed to just conform to. So that's basically like the type of men that I like. Open-minded, someone who's just comfortable with their sexuality. They're not worried about society, family, friends. They know exactly what they want. Somebody being DL or closeted for whatever reasons isn't going to work for me. Like the type of person that I am, I still keep some type of things private to myself as far as like with the relationship. But I know that I desire to be loved out loud. My heart is just too big for me to be, loved in the shadows. I need to just know that you love me, and, I just want to be open with somebody. So that's the kind of guys that I like. Like I told you guys before, Tony was the guy who opened me up to all of that. And the loser from the beginning, I don't even remember his name, so that shit goes to tell you, whatever. And as far as it goes to trans women and gay men, I think it's a beautiful thing. I know a lot of people don't really understand it. However, a lot of times we just have to get out of our own way. I think even in the LGBTQ AI plus, we have our own community, but we're still kind of caught up on the this is the man, this is the woman type of normative in our own community. And it's like a lot of people miss out on love because they're worried about what their friends may think, or because I'm masculine I need to be with somebody feminine, or because I'm feminine I need to be with somebody masculine. Like, you have to just get away with all those labels and boxes and just follow your heart, fall in love with whoever makes you happy, and do as you please. I have so many girlfriends who are like, why would you want to date a gay guy? Or, why would you go out on a date with a gay guy? I have to deal with trade, or I gotta be with a masculine man. And it's just like, a lot of those men aren't going to necessarily give you what you deserve. You know, there's nothing, I won't say there's nothing wrong with people being DL because we don't know what people's reasons are for not coming forward, or you just don't know. So people have their own reasons as to why they are reserved when it comes to their sexuality or who or what it is that they desire. But you just got to know what works for you. And I feel like if you do want to be in love, you have to get away, do away with types. You have to do away with that whole mindset of this is the type of person that I have to be with because of the type of person that I am. You just got to be open minded. So, trans women, if you do meet a guy who is openly gay and he has dated gay guys in the past, but for whatever reasons he finds some attraction in you, whether it be mentally and physically. Hopefully it's mentally though. Go for it. Butch queens, gay guys, whatever you want to call them, they do make great partners if you meet the right one. It's just easier. You're not dealing with the baby mama, the girlfriend. You know exactly what you're getting. Like with me, when I've dated other gay guys in the past, um, many of them never even thought about like looking at a girl or ever thought about dating a girl. It was more so my personality and the way I carried myself, which kind of sparked something in them. Like, I'm attracted to this particular individual, and I don't know why, but I want to get to know her and stuff like that. So, um, trans and gay men, go for it. Do what you must. Don't let people in our community tell you not to. Just go for it, have at it, and have fun. I hope you all enjoyed this little story time. And just remember, like, you don't have to go by anybody else's rules when it comes to dating in our community. Date who you want to be with, love who you want to love. Um, if it's two trans women, go ahead. Two feminine gay guys, go ahead. Two masculine gay guys, a trans and openly gay guy. Do whatever you want. Having a mindset of not following your heart or going by these standards has a lot of people walking around here lonely at night, brokenhearted. Honey, do away with those boxes and go get you a butch queen or go get you a trans girl, a femme queen, whatever. Anywho, thank you all for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this story time. Don't ask me what type of man I like because I haven't got a type. If your mind ain't open, the door is closed. See ya.